I am in Antigua. I finally made it after a couple days of being sick when I arrived to Guatemala. I am in my glamorous hotel room. I tend to stay in hostels or bed and breakfasts in a private room when I travel by myself. And this one I'm in is not glamorous by any means. There's not even any real windows except for the one above my door, but it's perfectly sufficient because I spend most of my time outside of the room and exploring when I'm traveling on my own. So today was a great day. I took a walking tour. I was about 40 minutes late because the data on my phone stopped working, so I couldn't find the meeting spot because I had it up on my maps. And it turned out my eSIM card was not working well in my phone. So I was 40 minutes late. I had to call the travel company, ask them where the group was once I was able to get on Wi-Fi, and ended up meeting them at this other spot. I was able to join another tour later this afternoon to make up for those 45 minutes, which was really nice of them to let me do that. And it was just a great day. I was reminded why I love to travel so much, even on my own. I love starting a trip in a new country with a walking tour. I find that it gets me oriented and grounded into a new place really quickly. I get to meet some travelers and I get to talk to the guide and ask them suggestions on things I might be able to do. And you always get a lay of the land in terms of the history of the city and the culture. Guatemala, or Antigua, used to be the capital of Guatemala, and it experienced a lot of earthquakes and a lot of rebuilding, which is partly the reason why the capital is now Guatemala City. Learned all about the Spaniards coming to take it over and the Jesuits and how that affected the development of the city. A lot of separation of church and state that had to happen, which is definitely a theme with a lot of countries. I then visited Las Capuchinas and Santa Clara. Las Capuchinas is a conventry where nuns used to live. And then this evening, I went to this restaurant where they had a show. It was really fun. They had these xylophone and percussion players playing, and then these dancers that came out, and I joined them for a little short number. It was really fun. I just enjoy the free-flowing nature that comes with traveling on your own, getting to make decisions at the snap to be like, oh, I'm gonna go to dinner at this place because it sounds fun, and to just have that agency. I really thrive off of being able to kind of flow with what feels right in the moment. I even came back late afternoon and did a little bit of work for this project that I'm on that I'll share more about when I'm able to give it proper airtime, but also worked for an hour or two in the middle of the day. It just felt really great to be able to kind of flex between things. Right before coming here, my friend Alfego dropped me off here last night. We came to Antigua yesterday. We did some rock climbing because he's really into rock climbing right now. And I've rock climbed a few times before. I know some basics. I can really only go up to like V1, V2s, but had a great time with him. Went to dinner and then he dropped me off here. And I found as he was dropping me off, I was getting a little nervous. I was also getting sad that I wasn't going to be with him for these next few days anymore, because I really enjoy Alfego, and I was even like, oh, are you sure you don't want to stay in Antigua with me? He has other stuff going on, understandably. But I had also gotten really comfortable being with him. when you're in a new country, there's inevitably some discomfort around being in a new culture, needing to navigate, fumbling and communicating with people in another language. I know very, very little Spanish. And so I always inevitably learn a little bit more or pick up on more when I'm in a Spanish-speaking country for a certain amount of time. But in the beginning, it's always nerve-wracking. And when I was here for the first couple days, I was able to depend on El Fuego to communicate, and I got really comfortable with that. I could kind of take a back seat and let him navigate things. And as he was dropping me off, I was realizing, oh shoot, I'm going to have to do this on my own now. And Antigua is very much a city that's familiar with tourists, so it's not like it's so off the beaten path. But there is still that understanding that the majority of people here, the people that live here, speak Spanish. And I also want to be respectful in doing my best to communicate. So today was a nice easing into that because I took a tour with the English-speaking guide, and then was able to kind of fumble along, asking questions at dinner, and then also just around town when I was doing the other things. So I think it's really important to push yourself out of your comfort zone once in a while, especially with things like navigating a new culture, and realizing that there is just more than your everyday routine in the way that you do things, in the way that you grow up. I had to do that a little bit already between the culture I grew up in the United States and the culture of my parents. But I'm not around my parents all the time, maybe a couple times a month or so, a couple times every 2 months or so. So really great to have that reminder. I just feel really lucky. I cannot overstate also how lucky I am that I get to be here, that I have the flexibility in my schedule and in my life to be able to come to Guatemala for 2 weeks. I feel very grateful. And as I'm processing this out loud, I'm just realizing how much more grateful I could be even for this experience, like that, to have the privilege and the resources to be able to take time out from my life, to experience another culture. Travel is always is always just an opportunity to kind of step back and reflect. So feeling really grateful right now. Tomorrow, I have a day of just wandering around Antigua again. I'm going to visit some more ruins. Hopefully going to do a little bit of shopping. I always try to buy jewelry that represents the country that I'm visiting, wherever possible. So hopefully going to find some jewelry. And then the next day, I am going on an overnight hike to the Acantenango volcano, which I'm really excited but nervous about because apparently it's really challenging. In the reviews of the tour that I'm taking, people have said it's one of the hardest things they've ever done. I'm in decent fitness shape, but I don't know if I'm not sure how I'm going to handle a really challenging hike, especially one that gets to 14,000 feet. Especially since I'm also getting over being a little run down and having a cold. So that's going to be interesting. Also, I am in between the little sightseeing I'm doing and when I get a chance to sit down and have a coffee and decompress, I'm on social media. And like all of you are probably seeing the news around US invading Venezuela and kidnapping the president, Nicolas Maduro. So not only social media, but news sites, of course. And it is mind-boggling. I can't believe life is carrying on per usual, even with this happening. I'm very I don't know if I should be posting about this publicly, but very disappointed in this administration. Disappointed is an understatement. How about furious? I've never been a Trump supporter, never will be. And it frankly is very sad that he is breaking the law this way. And so far, we're just acting like it's just an everyday scenario. I know all of us that believe in decency don't see it that way. But at large, we aren't able to really do anything. So we're kind of just sitting by, I guess. It's really crazy. Okay, I don't have much more to say about that. And frankly, I still have a lot to learn about our history with Venezuela and how this came to be. I certainly know it's not about narco-terrorism like he is pretending like it is. So yeah, that is also the other thing I'm reflecting on. It's crazy living in a time when we have to process so many things at once. And technology makes it easier, but makes a lot of things harder for our nervous system to process. So yeah, sitting with a lot right now and processing it out loud in real time. But yeah, that is my video of the day. And I look forward to whenever I see you all next. Okay.